We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Bam. I might not watch as much TV as I used to when I was a little bit younger, but every now and then I get kind of excited when I hear about a new project that's been brewing for a little bit, and as soon as I heard that they're remaking or at least continuing the Quantum Leap series, I'm not gonna lie, I got pretty excited. That was a pretty cool show back in the day. Pretty cool concept, but how they do it now is the question of the day. It's set to premiere on September 19th, but I got a little bit of an early look at it, so it's time to find out if Quantum Leap will take the flight or take the plunge. So just like in the original series, we have a scientist of sorts that gets stuck back in time after he walks through the same quantum leap accelerator that Sam Beckett did however many years ago. In this first episode entitled July 13th, 1985, that's exactly where he gets transported, where he has to deal with a little bit of a bomb threat. And while he's doing that, the people in current day are struggling to figure out what he has to do next in order to bring him home. So there's definitely a couple of things in this series that I really enjoyed, but there's also a couple of things that I think they're trying too hard at. First of all, there's a couple of shout outs to the original series back in the day because this is technically a continuation of that, which I think is a brilliant idea that paves the way for Sam Beckett to show up somewhere down the line, maybe in a finale or something, if he so wanted to. Because technically he's still stuck in the same exact accelerator as this character is right now. I think back in the day when they actually had the series finale for the original Quantum Leap, they're just like, and Sam Beckett never came back home. It was like really, really depressing or something like that. I'm not exactly sure the exact wording, but that's how they ended it. And in this show, they kind of talk about that. They're like, yeah, he never came back home. He's still out there somewhere. I like the idea that he's still out there, but I hope that if he is, they at least touch base on why they gave up looking for him. So I'll be curious to see what goes on there. Raymond Lee plays our main character here. His name is Dr. Ben Song. He is our Sam Beckett of this series. I think he does pretty good, but we haven't seen the extent of what he's going to be challenged with. We've only seen one character, right? He's supposed to be thrown into a bunch of different personalities, including men, women, famous people, whatever. We haven't really seen that yet. So I'll be curious on seeing how he approaches that when, not if it happens. His fiance in this show is played by Anastasia Antonia, and she's basically the Al of this show, so she shows up in person for him in a hologram sort of thing. But one question that I had with the show before I started it was, does it capture the same amount of magic and wonder that the original show did back in the day? And the answer to that is kind of not really. What I mean by that is the concept is definitely there and the concept has always been strong. But one thing that really, really worked for the original series is just the sheer amount of unknowns that were going on in the show. The audience at home had no idea what was going to happen next. They had no idea where the main character was going to end up next. They'd have no idea what he had to do. And most importantly, but not talked about as much, they had no idea what was going on in current day. So they felt as lost as Sam Beckett did whenever he would show up somewhere. They were just as lost. They had no idea if he was any closer to coming home. Obviously he wasn't, because that went on for 4 or 5 seasons and he never came home. This show's a little bit different because half of it really does take place in current day, in modern day, where you see all these scientists running around like a chicken with their head cut off, trying to figure out what happened, why he's where he's at, how to bring him back. And I have a problem with this. Because as much as I like Ernie Hudson, and as much as I'm getting acquainted with all these other scientists in modern day, their roles are not important to the show. In fact, what they're doing there is going to get old fast. They'll be like, oh my god, he's somewhere else, he's someone else, he's gonna have to do this now, and it's just gonna do that over and over again. And then the fiance girl, she's gonna have to relay the same information to him. It's gonna get repetitive, and it's gonna mess with the flow of the actual episode and the narrative of what's going on with him in this world, which is what we're watching for. And if you're like me and you love that original show, you would have always expected him to end the episode with what? Oh boy. Does he? In a matter of speaking, yes, but he doesn't say boy. I'll leave it at that. He doesn't have the boyish charm that Scott Bakula had in the original series. And I don't really expect him to. I don't expect them to remake the original series to a T. They really do need to have their own series. They really do need to have their own characters doing their own thing and to have it separate from the original. But there's also a reason why that original lasted as long as it did. Because it was simple. Kids, keep it simple, stupid. Less is more. And the original show was a perfect example of less is more. Some people might be worried about this show becoming a woke thing, kind of like how the 4400 was when they revisited that series. But the main difference you have to keep in mind with this is that it's not CW. CW is often attributed with the wokeful nation of series. So I wouldn't say it's woke, but it does have a diverse cast of characters. Now, if you have a problem with diverse casting, I don't know what to tell you. Get over it, I guess, because that's just the way of the world. And everybody that's in the show, as far as I've seen, does a pretty good job. But it's really only one episode now. Time will tell if it'll live up to the hype and if it'll live as long as Quantum Leap did back in however long ago. Again, what year was that? 1989. Almost 100 episodes all the way into 1993. So most modern audiences that are watching right now probably never saw the original series, which is kind of a shame because people who are watching this as the first introduction into the Quantum Leap world, they might appreciate the concept, but they won't feel the same magic and wonder as that original series had back in the 80s and the 90s. But if you have the Peacock streaming channel, the whole series, I believe, is on there for you to check out if you're so inclined. You can check out a few of those episodes if you want right now while you're waiting for the new one to start, just to kind of get an idea of the charm of the original show. Because I don't think the same charm is found in this new series, at least not quite yet. There's still time for it to grow and to fester. We'll see where it goes the next time in the next episode and everything like that. But have you seen the new Quantum Leap show? Are you a fan of it? Did you watch the original series? How do you think it compares to that? Let me know, and as for YouTube, guys know what to do. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell to be notified when I come out with my next TV review. And until then, peace out!